Hey everyone, I've been seeing a lot of buzz around these Swarovski Optik 8x30 CL Companion Urban Jungle binoculars lately, especially from folks who love birdwatching and urban exploration. I finally got my hands on a pair, and I have to say, they're pretty impressive. If you're curious about the specs or want to see them in action, the link is in the description so you can check out the details on Amazon. First off, the build quality is exactly what you'd expect from Swarovski, solid, sleek, and that signature anthracite finish gives them a really premium look. They're compact and lightweight, so they fit easily in a jacket pocket or a small bag, which is perfect if you're out hiking or just wandering around the city. The 8x magnification is smooth, and the jitter-free viewing makes it easy to follow birds or scan the skyline without everything bouncing around. One thing that really stood out to me was how comfortable they are to hold, even for extended periods of time. The ergonomic design fits nicely in your hands, and the weight distribution is spot on, which makes a big difference when you're out for a long day of exploring. One thing I really like is the 7.6-degree angle of view. It's wide enough to take in a lot of scenery without feeling cramped, but not so wide that it distorts the image. I tested them out in the park the other day, and I could easily spot birds in the trees without having to constantly adjust my position. The 132-meter field of view at 1,000 meters is also super helpful. It gives you that big picture view while still keeping things sharp and clear. This is especially useful when you're trying to track birds in flight or follow a particular species as it moves through its habitat. You can get a sense of the whole scene without losing focus on your target, which is really valuable for serious birders or wildlife enthusiasts. The Urban Jungle Edition has a nice contrast boost, which really helps when you're trying to pick out details in low light or against busy backgrounds. I was surprised how well they performed in the early morning when the light was still soft. The colors were rich and vibrant, and I could make out subtle textures and patterns that might have been lost with lesser binoculars. The waterproofing is a big plus too, no worries if you're caught in a light drizzle or just want to take them near a lake or river. I didn't get a chance to test them in heavy rain, but the ceiling seems robust, and I'm confident they'd hold up well in wet conditions. The close focus distance is another standout. I was able to get really sharp images of flowers and small insects just a few feet away, which is great if you're into macro-style nature observation. The diopter adjustment is easy to tweak, so you can quickly dial in the focus for your eyes without fumbling around. This is really useful if you're sharing the binoculars with someone else, or if you need to switch between different observation tasks. For example, you might be studying a bird's nest 1 minute, and then switch to observing a nearby insect or plant the next. The ease of adjustment makes it simple to adapt to changing conditions or observation targets. Now, they're not perfect. The price tag is pretty steep, so if you're on a budget, these might not be the best fit. The Urban Jungle Edition is also a bit niche. If you're mostly using them in open fields or for stargazing, you might not need the extra contrast boost. But if you're into urban birding or cityscape viewing, it's a nice touch. On the other hand, if you're looking for a more general-purpose binocular, you might want to consider other options. It's worth thinking carefully about how you plan to use your binoculars, and whether the specific features of the Urban Jungle Edition align with your needs and priorities. One thing that's worth noting is the overall value proposition of these binoculars. While they're certainly expensive, they're also built to last, and the quality of the optics is exceptional. If you're serious about your hobby or profession, it's worth investing in the best tools you can afford. These binoculars are definitely a long-term investment, and they should provide years of reliable service with proper care. On the other hand, if you're just starting out or casual about your observation activities, you might want to consider more affordable options. In terms of comparison to other binoculars on the market, the Swarovski Optik 8x30 CL Companion Urban Jungle is definitely a high-end product. Overall, these binoculars are a solid choice if you want something high-end that performs well in real-world conditions. The clarity, build quality, and ease of use make them worth the investment, especially if you're serious about your optics. They're not for everyone, of course, but if you're looking for a premium product that delivers exceptional results, the Swarovski Optik 8x30 CL Companion Urban Jungle is definitely worth considering. If you're thinking about picking up a pair, the link is below so you can check them out on Amazon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.